Und willkommen zurück zum Epilog von SHINRAI, Broken Beyond Despair. Ich weiß nicht, wie lang dieser Epilog noch geht, ich weiß nicht, was hier noch passiert. Werden Shinpuku und Kamen jetzt beste Freunde? Erfahren wir noch, was Kamen damit meinte mit Raiko, you're back? Hat es irgendwas mit dem, was Raiko auch immer wieder erwähnt, zu tun, mit jemandem zu verlieren, der einem am wichtigsten ist? Erfahren wir überhaupt noch was davon? Keine Ahnung. Finden wir es jetzt heraus. Even though it had only started a couple of moments ago, the sudden downpour was already starting to subside. As it gradually grew weaker, turning into a faint drizzle, I lowered my umbrella and looked up at the grey cloud-covered sky. A few rebellious rays of sunlight had managed to pierce through the thick barricade of depression, tearing a big, bright hole into it. Ich bin diesmal auch wirklich nicht 40 Stunden wach. Ne? Ich bin diesmal nicht seit 40 Stunden wach, sondern seit 40 Minuten oder so. Was nicht heißt, dass das mit dem Lesen heute besser wird. As the rain slowly dissolved completely, I further tilted my head back, closed my eyes and let the sunlight spill across my face. The temperatures were quite low. Ich sag ja, funktioniert nicht so mit dem Lesen. It was a rather cold November day. Therefore, I welcomed the sun's warm touch and tried to enjoy it as much as possible before I was gobbled up by that melancholic wall of grey again. Once the warmth was gone and all I felt stroking across my cheeks was the cold touch of the autumn breeze, I let out a deep sigh, closed my umbrella and lowered my gaze. She was still there, of course, right in front of me, wet from top to bottom. Oh dear, you're completely drenched now. Sorry, I should have let you under my umbrella, but somehow that thought didn't occur to me. Ist mit sie jetzt Carmen gemeint? Feeling a little guilty, I reached into my pocket for a handkerchief, crouched down in front of her and carefully wiped the raindrops from my sister's face. Oh, okay, also geht es hier jetzt um die wichtigste Person, die sie verloren hat. Weil von einer Schwester wussten wir bisher noch nichts, ne? She kept listening patiently as I continued from where I had left off before the sudden rainfall had interrupted me. A sad story, isn't it? And all of it kind of happened because of a simple misunderstanding. I had told her everything. The whole story of what happened that Halloween night. Oder sie hat jetzt eine Schwester dazu bekommen. Oder so. Ich weiß nicht wieso. Ich wusste nicht, dass sie eine Schwester... Warum? The events from a week ago still seemed like a dream. Also diese Halloween-Party ist jetzt liegt eine Woche zurück. Und seit wann hat sie eine kleine Schwester? Hä? Unfortunately, every day we were brutally reminded that they were not. It was so weird, seeing those 3 empty seats in our classroom. Aber wir haben Kotoba doch gerettet. Momoko, Hiro and Kotoba. Since that fateful night, everything was so different. Aber ich denke mal, er war so verbrannt, dass er dann nicht direkt wieder in die Schule gegangen ist, ne? The whole atmosphere at school had drastically changed. Everything was so eerily quiet now. No Kotoba telling perverted stories and fighting with Mika. No gossiping or teasing between Kamen and Momoko. And no Hiro walking about boasting about his recent achievements. I hadn't noticed before, but all 3 of them had been an integral part of my daily school life. And now that they were gone, it just wasn't the same anymore. To think that all of this was the result of a mere misunderstanding. If Momoko had really seen those messages on Kamen's phone, one couldn't blame her for the conclusion she had arrived at. Still, maybe it wouldn't have come to all of this if she only had talked to Kamen about it and given her a chance to explain herself. But alas, she hadn't. And even if she had, it might not have been helped much. I mean, it hadn't worked the first time when Kamen had tried to talk to her either. And unfortunately, that's how it usually goes, isn't it? Why should I listen to your bullshit? I know you're lying. War ja im Prinzip auch genau das, was sie zu Kamen gesagt haben, als sie die beschuldigt haben. I don't even want to hear any of your excuses. I know what I saw, so don't even try to talk yourself out of it. Let you finish? I've already heard enough. There is nothing more to talk about. I was so sick of hearing expressions like these. Momoko had apparently yelled them at her best friend, and even Taiko had used similar ones when he had accused Carmen of being the culprit. Genau das hatte ich ja gerade angemerkt. And every single day, so many other people resort to them as well. It's quite depressing, isn't it? Misunderstandings are so easy to produce by a lack of communication and the mere unwillingness to listen and think. But why gather all the available information first in order to make a proper judgment when jumping to conclusion is so much simpler and requires a lot less effort, right? It's funny how everyone always wants to be given a chance to prove and explain themselves, yet giving such a chance to others ironically seems the hardest thing in the world. Especially if one's emotions are deeply intertwined with the matter at hand, overpowering one's ability of rational thought. But I guess that's just part of human nature. When people get angry, they simply shut off their brains. And in doing so, they tend to make things much worse than necessary and create drama where otherwise none would exist. Every day, so many fights or even tragedies could be prevented if we wouldn't let our emotional stubbornness get the better of us. If we would just quietly sit down, listen and talk and think. Rationally. Of course, all of this is much easier said than done, and not always do things turn out to be a misunderstanding. But it is always sad to see whenever a friendship, a relationship, or even an entire life gets destroyed by one. Just like in this case. At least among friends and families, such things shouldn't happen. But I guess that alone was already too much to ask. I once made that very same mistake, remember? Letting misunderstanding cause such a tragedy. But I saw to never let that happen again. Kann es sein, dass ihre Schwester gar nicht da ist und ihre Schwester schon tot ist und sie gerade am Grab ihrer Schwester steht und so und das abgewischt hat oder so? Not to me and not to anyone else. This time I couldn't prevent another tragedy from happening. But I won't let that discourage me. I will continue to my best, just like I promised. Trust me, Raiko-chan. Your little sister has learned her lesson. And she won't disappoint you again. Raiko? War das nicht ihre Mutter oder so am Anfang? Ich bin mir gerade nicht sicher. I let my fingers glide across the inscription on the face of the gravestone. Das muss ich jetzt gerade einmal nachgucken. Ich will das jetzt wissen. Ich speichere hier auf den Empty Slot. Ich will das jetzt einmal gerade wissen. Einfach nur... Okay, ich kann nicht zum Main-Menü gehen. Ist auch gut. Manchmal funktioniert das Menü einfach nicht. Ich wollte jetzt eigentlich ganz gerne nachgucken, ob das so war. Ich meine nämlich, dass Raiko vorgestellt worden ist als ihre Mutter. I let my finger glide across the inscription on the face of the gravestone. Even though I could neither hear nor see my sister, I knew she was listening. She had always listened to me. Raiko-chan, I miss you so much. Warum hat sie eigentlich immer noch die Katzenohren auf, wenn das vor einer Woche passiert ist? I felt warm tears run across my cheeks as my mind drifted off to those precious times my sister and I had shared together. I could very well imagine what Carmen was going through right now. Aber ich ja eigentlich schon gesagt, dass sie vor einem Grabstein steht, ne, und darüber gewischt hat mit dem Taschentuch. After all, I had experienced the very same thing, losing someone really important to me. And it had happened for the same reason. Because I had drawn false conclusions and misjudged the situation, which had eventually led me to do something really stupid. But I won't allow myself to repeat that mistake again. Was hast du getan? I'll keep working hard so that you can be proud of me. And that maybe one day you can forgive me. After wiping the tears from my eyes, as well as the last drops of rain from my sister's grave, I put the handkerchief into my pocket and rose back to my feet. Well, I think I've bothered you enough for today, haven't I? And looking at the time, I guess I better get going now anyway. You know how Mom is. Guess I'll tell you how it went next time I visit you. Also ich glaub mal nicht, dass Raiko dann die Mutter ist. Which will be real soon, I promise. I folded my hands to pray for my sister's peace one last time before I waved her goodbye and finally turned around to take my leave. I would have liked to stay a little longer, but Mom wasn't the only one waiting for me. Bara-chan was too. And knowing how much she hated these kinds of places, I didn't want to make her wait any longer than necessary. So, without further ado, I moved back to the graveyard's entrance. Once I passed through the main gates, I immediately spotted her on the other side, leaning against the wall. The moment our eyes met, a huge grin flashed across her lips. Yo, Raiko-chan! Hey there. Sorry it took so long. School, no worries. Ich wüsste jetzt gerne, welchen Fehler sie damals begangen hat. War sie für den Tod ihrer Schwester verantwortlich? Klang nämlich irgendwie so. Killed some time by trying to catch a smuggle stuff. Male level 64. Was ist ein Smuggle Stuff? I actually got it, but had to keep reloading cause it always broke free from my alpha ball. Spielt sie da etwa gerade Pokémon Go oder sowas? I had to use my only better ball. Can you believe it? Son of a bitch. Ja, am Friedhof zu spielen, das ist natürlich auch überhaupt nicht respektlos gegenüber den Toten, ne? So she's been gaming all this time, huh? Figures. Why had I even been worried about her? So, like, did you say hi to Ghosty for me? I couldn't help but snicker upon hearing that name. Ghosty was obviously referring to my sister, but not because she had passed on. Bara-chan had always called her that. Since her childhood, Raiko had been fascinated by ghosts, curses, and the supernatural in general. She had read and watched everything related to those things and really loved to tell us ghost stories in order to scare us. That's where her nickname originated from. Come to think of it, I guess my sister was the reason why Bara-chan was so superstitious and allergic to ghosts in the first place. Aha. Ja gut, Ghosty macht ja jetzt gleich doppelt Sinn, wenn sie tot ist, ne? Raiko's stories had probably scarred her for life. Don't worry, I gave her your regards. But I'm sure she would have been even happier to see you. You should have just come along. Nah, you know, graveyards and I ain't exactly compatible. Too many ghosts and stuff. There aren't any ghosts around the graveyard because ghosts do not exist. When will you ever believe me? Well, if they ain't existent, then why are you even coming here to talk to Ghosty, huh? Well, that's, eine gute Frage, ne? I guess she got me there. If put like that, I did want to believe in the existence of ghosts. However, this was a little different. While I did want to believe that my sister could somehow still hear me, of course, I knew that there was no way of her ghost actually roaming this place. Just like I knew that vengeful spirits possessing people were also nothing more than complete balderdash. Either way, I'll only believe ghosts ain't existent once I see them not existent with my own eyes. Was ist das denn für eine Aussage? Wie kannst du denn mit deinen eigenen Augen sehen, dass etwas nicht existiert? But you can't see what's not existing anyway, so... Heißt das, dass du Geister siehst? Oh well, whatever. Let's just get going. Yes! You shouldn't disturb the dead for too long. And so we headed for the town park. Towards something truly scary that truly existed. Unlike ghosts in a graveyard. Was denn? Ist das Raiko? Raiko Shinpuku. Ein Geist. Im Alter von 14 Jahren gestorben, war im Literaturclub. Sie mochte Anime und Katzen und Ghost Stories und Lesen und Videogames. Und sie mochte keine Hausaufgaben und nicht zu lernen. Das bin einfach ich. Das bin einfach ich als Frau. Ich hasse auch Hausaufgaben und Lernen. Und ich mag Anime und ich mag Videogames. Und lesen tue ich auch gerne, ne? Und Katzen mag ich auch. Und ja, Geistergeschichten jetzt nicht so unbedingt, aber trotzdem, der Rest passt alles. Das bin ich als Frau. New character profile has been added. X-page for Raiko's profile has been added. When we reached the town park, Barachan and I followed the path to the shopping district at a leisurely place. Ist das der wahre Horror, wovon du geredet hast, den es wirklich gibt? Shopping? Since it was already noon, we probably should have stepped it up a notch. However, I couldn't really bring myself to. Mom was waiting for us after all. Oder die Mutter ist der wahre Horror. The hair salon where she was working was pretty close by. Therefore, she had wanted me to head over there after visiting Raiko-chan so that we could go shopping during her lunch break. I personally thought there was no need for that, but according to her, I badly needed a new pair of shoes and fashionable winter jacket. Ich weiß ja nicht. Also, ich glaube, shoppen gehen, das braucht doch so seine Zeit. Ich verstehe nicht. Also ich glaube, das ist nichts, was man so mal eben nebenbei in seiner Mittagspause macht, oder? Ich meine, man steht doch in der Mittagspause voll unter Zeitdruck und man sollte die doch auch eigentlich benutzen, um Mittag zu essen oder so. Ich meine, wenn man so eine Stunde Mittagspause hat, ist schon wieder was anderes, als wenn man nur so eine halbe Stunde oder Viertelstunde Mittagspause hat. Aber trotzdem, reicht die Zeit wirklich aus, um shoppen zu gehen? I really wasn't looking forward to this. Shopping with Mom always was a test of patience and usually ended in utter embarrassment for me. Gerade wenn das ein Test of Patience ist. Verstehe ich das nicht, warum die das in der Mittagspause macht. Originally I'd refused to submit myself to this torture, but like always she had been so incredibly annoying and persistent that I'd eventually given in, just to shut her up. And now, here I was, dreading the moment we could arrive at our destination. Curses, she's already bombarded my cell phone with a bazillion messages asking where the heck we are. Shouldn't we hurry up a little? No. After seeing those messages, I kinda feel like walking at an even slower pace. Come on, don't be like that. It will be fun. You're only saying that because you never actually went shopping with her before. Did you never listen to all those horror stories I told you? Well, you always tend to exaggerate a little, so... I don't. But well, let's see your reaction once you've gotten a taste of pure despair. Darum geht's in dem Spiel eigentlich wirklich, um das Einkaufen mit ihrer Mutter. Und das ist die eigentliche Verzweiflung, wo es hier geht. Der Mord und alles, was passiert ist, ne, das war harmlos. Aber jetzt geht's ums Shoppen mit ihrer Mutter. Und das ist das Schrecklichste, was man je gesehen hat. There you go again. Anyway, I need to get some new stuffs myself, and I'd rather go with you. The alternative would be going with Dad, and no. Just no. Fair enough. Shopping with Mom was bad, but it probably is still better than going with Mr. Akadori. Then again, this was kinda like deciding between getting your entire finger chopped off or just your nail ripped out. Ich weiß nicht, was da von beiden schmerzhafter ist. Anyway, brighten up a little. Maybe we'll find you another pair of cute animal ears. You seem to have taken quite a liking to those, haven't ya? Just can't take them off, eh? What? What was she talking about? Wait, I wasn't wearing those accursed cat ears again, was I? Ja, warum? I was. I could feel them on my head. Curses, when had Mom... Also ihre Mutter hat ihr die aufgesetzt, ne? Yes, just make fun of me. Huh? I ain't. Was just thinking it's kinda cool that you run around with them ears without feeling embarrassed and all. Curses, I had just been about to take them off, but of course now I couldn't. Not unless I wanted her to know that I was embarrassed to wear these blasted things. It's totally unlike ya. But maybe that's a good thing. A sign that you might be starting to revert back to your old self. Wahrscheinlich hat sie sich verändert, als das mit ihrer Schwester passiert ist. Und vielleicht kannten sich da Carmen und sie auch und so. Und deswegen hat Carmen gesagt, du bist wieder zurück. My old self, huh? It was kinda hard to imagine going back to that. In fact, I even wished that back then I had already been the way I was right now. If I had, then she would have most likely still be here. I'm also still super surprised whenever I think back to that Halloween night and how you stood up for Carmen. That was totally unlike you as well. You even seemed to have fun trying to figure out the truth and solving all the mysteries. I mean, you sure were cocky and unusual talkative. This detective stuff might just be a kind of thing. Maybe you should think about becoming one. Becoming a detective and solving more crimes as well as potential murders? Yeah, no. I could definitely pass on that. Although I had to admit that it had been strangely exciting. I still couldn't really believe it myself. I think I had talked a lot more to the others that night than I had over the course of the entire school year. However, it had been necessary in order to reveal the truth. Aber wenn es dir doch darum geht, die Truth als Tageslicht zu bringen, ne? Wenn du doch dich so für die Truth einsetzt, vielleicht solltest du dann wirklich Detective werden. And I would certainly do it again if needed. Too bad our other classmates haven't been there. They'd probably think a lot different about you now, just like Carmen does. Who cares what they think about me anyway? I'm glad if they keep leaving me alone, to be honest. Well, so much for getting my hopes up. Guess you still have a long ways to go. Oh well, speaking of our classmate, that reminds me, have you heard about Rie? What about her? She's already at it again. Since the Halloween party didn't turn out as planned, she's preparing another one for Christmas. She's already thinking of throwing another party after what just happened. Seriously? That girl. Well, I guess everyone had their own ways of coping with things. And some did by creating distractions to keep themselves busy and their minds occupied. Genau, das wollte ich gerade sagen. Die versucht einfach nur wahrscheinlich nicht dran zu denken und sich mit was anderem zu beschäftigen. Was soll auf einer Weihnachtsfeier schon Schlimmes passieren? Gibt's eigentlich einen zweiten Teil davon, wo es dann um eine Weihnachtsfeier geht? Still, I sure had enough of her parties for a while, so hopefully she wasn't planning on inviting Barachan and me again. I'm just glad she's already back to her usual self. Since it didn't work out last time, she's apparently got another idea on how to ensnare poor old Taiko as well. Of course. I'm kinda surprised she didn't already try anything. I think she's gone easy on him for now. Poor guy's got a lot of stuff on his mind after all. That was certainly true. Kodo was still hospitalized. I hadn't visited him yet, but Taiko went to the hospital every day right after school. According to him, Kodoba had been extremely lucky to have even survived the whole ordeal. He had sustained a lot of severe burns, some of which would leave marks for the rest of his life, but at the very least, he was alive. And even though it was going to take a while until he would be released, he was doing okay. Okay enough that the police had already been able to interrogate him. Kodoba had basically confirmed everything I said that night. Momoko had really asked him to help play a prank on us, and he had readily agreed, thinking of it as the ideal opportunity to get closer to her and finally win her heart. He couldn't believe it himself that she had actually wanted to kill him. However, he had admitted to stalking her, even though he had apparently never intended to anything beyond that. Much less harm or scare her in any way. He had only wanted to learn more about her in order to get her presence to better suit her taste. But even if that was true in the end, his intentions didn't really matter much, did they? Only his actions did. Anyway, I'm curious to see what Rie is cooking up this time. Runa's gonna be helping her with preparations again. Actually talked to her on her way home yesterday. She seemed to be doing fine herself, from what I can tell. Guess she really is over hero now. That didn't really surprise me that much. I knew one shouldn't talk bad about the dead, but that guy sure had been a scumbag. Yep. I couldn't help but wonder why he had been like that. How he could have treated Momoko and Runa in such a horrible way. Unfortunately, this was something I'd probably never get an answer to. All I could do now was speculate. Then again, I honestly didn't really care for his reasons. Whatever they might have been, they wouldn't have justified any of what he had done anyway. Ich frage mich immer noch, was wollte er von Carmen? War Carmen irgendwie reich oder so? I was just glad to know that Runa was doing well. That was really all that mattered to me. You know, not only is she doing fine, she actually told me something really interesting. Apparently, she had her eyes set on someone else for a while now. Guy's name's Katsuo. He's attending another school. She met him a month ago when she was watching her bro's soccer team play against theirs. Who would have thought, huh? Interesting. I guess that meant that when Runa had so vehemently insisted on being over her feelings for Hiro, she had actually told us the truth. Nevertheless, it must have still been quite hard for her to accept that she had been nothing more than a throwaway toy for him. Just like Momoko. You seem well informed, don't you? Well, I was just worried about the others and wanted to see if they're all doing fine. Even if it meant squeezing some of the info out of them. Ja, wahrscheinlich so richtig unsensibel, ne? Did I even want to know what she had done to get Runa to tell her about her love life? So, like, since we're already talking about everyone, have you heard anything about Carmen? For a second I was surprised myself to have actually asked this. It was still kinda weird. Carmen had always been one of the people I disliked the most, but now? She was probably the one I was worried about the most. The first few days after the party she had skipped school, and when she had finally returned to the classroom she had looked quite depressed, which was only understandable. I wanted to talk to her, but so far I hadn't been able to build up the courage to do so. I wasn't quite sure how to go about it either. I mean, what was I supposed to say? I just wasn't good at this human interaction stuff. Bin ich auch nicht. Hmm? What's so funny now? Oh, nothing. Come on, tell me. No, really. There ain't nothing to tell ya. Nothing at all. Could you please even act even more suspicious? Hat sich Carmen jetzt etwa in Raiko verliebt? Well, I guess you'll find out any moment now anyway. I'm pretty sure they should be... ach so. Ihre Mutter und Carmen kommen zusammen hier hin. What the... I suddenly felt a heavy weight dragging me to my knees. Someone had jumped at me from behind. Their arms were slinging themselves around my neck, just as their legs did around my hips, and they firmly attached themselves to my back. As I fought hard not to topple over, I felt the warm breath of my assailant enter my left ear, shortly before a loud explosion of sound erupted inside of it. Achoo! Curses. Her weight was too much for my frail body to handle. Warum ist Mika hier? I desperately tried keeping my legs from caving in, but they weren't going to endure it much longer. Thankfully, though, that little devil seemed to realize that herself. Before I could collapse and get buried beneath her, she finally let go. Holy crap! Mika, are you insane? Cuckoo! Mika did it! Mika was victorious! What? Mika totally shocked Raiko. Mika saw the terror written all over Raiko's face. And how exactly had she been able to see anything written on my face when she had jumped at me from behind? Genau. Raiko's getting all wet down there, isn't she? Das klingt jetzt nicht, als ob sie sich eingepisst hat. Das klingt etwas falsch. What? Well, saying that she pointed her sparkling baseball at my crotch. A sparkling baseball? Bat. Ach so, okay. Ihren Baseballschläger. A triumphant smile gleaming across her lips. Just admit it. Raiko's panties are totally drenched because she peed herself in fear. No, I didn't. Prove it. No, I won't. Then Mika has won a coup. Ja, voll der billige Trick. Wenn du dich jetzt hier in der Öffentlichkeit nicht ausziehst, um zu beweisen, dass du dich nicht eingepisst hast, dann hast du dich eingepisst. Ja, genau. This little devil. I was just about to give her a piece of my mind when I suddenly noticed someone timidly standing a little off in the distance. Carmen! She seemed rather nervous and barely managed to even look at us. However, after closing her eyes for a moment and taking a deep breath, she raised her head and finally managed to greet us. Hi there, Nobara and Raiko-chan. Ich glaube, sie ist wirklich verknallt in Raiko. Yo, Carmen's up! Hello there. What a coincidence running into you here. I wouldn't call it that much of a coincidence. Huh? Oh, so that's what Bara-chan had been snickering about a moment ago. As it turned out, Mika had sent her a text message in order to arrange a little meetup while I had been visiting Raiko-chan. Since Carmen and Mika had been doing some shopping here themselves today, they had been close by. Therefore, Bara-chan had told them to just meet us at the park. I see. So then you wanted to talk to me? Yes, but only if it's okay with you. I heard you already have plans, so... If you're in a hurry or something, I guess it can wait. Genau genommen, rettest du ihr quasi gerade den Tag? No, it's okay. I don't mind really. Considering this meant that I could delay my shopping trip with Mom for a little longer, I gladly stayed here to talk with her. Besides, maybe this was exactly the chance I'd been looking for. Thanks. She looked quite happy about my answer, but at the same time still incredibly nervous. Her gaze wandered all over the place, every now and then glancing back at me before quickly moving somewhere else again. What exactly was going on here? Na, sie ist nicht verknallt, oder? What was she so nervous about? Let me cut straight to the chase. I wanted to thank you again. You know, for helping me back there, for believing in me and for standing up for me. There's no need for that. I only did what I thought was right. You were telling the truth after all. But you were the only one who believed me. I don't even want to think about how things might have turned out if it hadn't been for you. I'm so very grateful for what you did for me. Even though I didn't deserve it. Huh? I was a little unsure what she meant by that, but before I got to the time to even ponder it... Please forgive me! Forgive you? For what? For the way I've treated you all this time. To think that you of all people would be there for me after I treated you with so much disrespect. I'm so ashamed of myself. And I'm truly sorry about it. I really got the wrong idea about you. Carmen, you're always so serious, barely laugh or smile, and avoid most people. Excuse me for putting it like this, but I always took you for an unsociable idiot who hated everyone else. That's why I treated you like that. Because I got the impression that you're the kind of person who thinks too highly of herself. That you saw the rest of us as fools or something who weren't even worth your time. Yeah, well, even though I didn't do it with that intention in mind, I guess I couldn't deny that it was possible to interpret my behavior that way. There's been a time I had been quite different, more open and friendly, almost the exact opposite of what I was today. But over the past 4 years I had changed a lot. That wasn't because I hated everyone else though, sondern weil du dich selbst gehasst hast. I thought you only cared about yourself and maybe those you deemed special enough to spend your time with, like Nobara, and it kinda pissed me off. But I see now that I was wrong. I should have figured it out much sooner. In the end, you're really not that different from Momo. So, once again, I'm truly sorry for how I've treated you, and I hope that you can forgive me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. She should have looked a little surprised by my answer, almost as though she had expected it to be that easy. However, how could I have replied anything else to her? Just from the look in her eyes, I could tell that she hadn't merely said those things out of a feeling of obligation. Because she thought she had to after I helped her. No, she genuinely meant every single word of it. She really was sorry and she really did seem to regret how she had treated me. And in the end, I couldn't really hold it against her. Up until now, I had always thought, why did Carmen treat me like this? Why did she always have to pick on me? Make snide remarks at me? How could she criticize me for my behavior if she didn't even know anything about me? But I'd never made an effort to understand her either, so I guess it only made sense. Just like I had no obligation to treat everyone the way they wanted me to, I couldn't expect anyone to peek inside my head and try to understand me. So, if I really appeared that unfriendly and unsociable, did I have any right to complain about others acting hostile towards me? Are you really sure about this? Forgiving me just like that? Of course I am. It's fine, really. I can see why you thought that way about me. It's mostly my own fault. Besides, I have to admit that I never thought the nicest things about you either, so I'm sorry too. Raiko-chan. Anyway, it's all in the past now, right? So let's just forget about all this and simply start anew. The past? Say, it's something I've been meaning to ask you for a long time now. Do you by any chance remember? Yes? Weil sie ja gesagt hat, you're back, das heißt, die mussten sich ja schon mal besser gekannt haben. Never mind. Forget I said anything. I do want to ask you something else though. If you really mean what you've said, then her level of nervousness seemed to gain a drastic boost again. Entire moments passed without her saying anything as she tried to build up the courage to spit out whatever was on her mind. Then, when our eyes eventually met again, I noticed a sudden surge of determination in hers as she took a deep breath and... I want to know everything about you. What? I mean, so that I can understand you better. Of course, I know that it would take some time until you'd feel comfortable enough to tell me anything, but I don't mind waiting. It won't be the first time either. Ist doch eindeutig verknallt. No matter how long it takes, I want to earn your trust so that maybe one day you won't mind telling me. Carmen, I just want to learn more about you. I want to know why you are the way you are. This probably sounds super weird and it's kind of embarrassing, but, well, what I'm trying to say is, please, let's become friends. The moment she finished, her face immediately exploded into a fiery glow of red. I was utterly speechless, to say the least. As were Mika and Barra-chan. Carmen? 2 weeks ago I would have never imagined her asking me to be friends, not even in my wildest dreams. Yet here she was, standing right in front of me, nervously fidgeting as she awaited my reply. She was really serious about this. But what was I going to tell her? Even if I had wanted to, I couldn't just say no, but this was all so sudden. Let's be friends then. Really? Yes, really. We can at least try, I guess. Honestly, I wasn't too sure about this. For so long I had tried to avoid something like this. However, after she had apologized to me with such sincerity, I fought so hard to muster the courage to even ask that question. I would have felt really bad for giving her any other reply than yes. Besides, being friends was a lot better than being enemies, right? Thank you, Raiko-chan. She looked incredibly happy, as though a huge load had been taken off her shoulders. I could even see some tears of joy welling up in the corners of her eye. It's about time this happened. But don't you forget, if you and Raiko-chan become friends, we gotta be friends too. Of course, I certainly wouldn't mind. Cool. Mika says that went really well, didn't it? Was hat Mika eigentlich mit denen zu tun? Gehört die überhaupt zu irgendwem dazu? So freundschaftlich gesehen? Weil Mika ist, wie ich das irgendwie verstanden habe, einfach so nochmal eine Sache für sich. But isn't Kamen still forgetting something? Cool? I am... Cool! Kamen had something to give to Raiko, didn't she? Well... Another wave of nervousness washed over Kamen's face as she glanced down at the shopping bag she was holding in her hands. I recognized it right away. It was from a nearby anime and manga store that Bara-chan and I frequented. For a few moments, she seemed indecisive about what to do, almost like she was fighting an inner struggle. Eventually, however, she reached into her bag and took something out. I know it isn't much or anything special, but I thought maybe you would like it. Was ist es denn? She held a tiny cube-like cardboard box out to me. There was a colorful anime motif printed on it. In its center was a little boy in a blue jacket with a red bow tie and rather huge glasses. Apparently, there was a small figurine of him inside of it. I actually knew this anime character rather well. Meint sie Detektiv Conan? With a smile flashing across my lips, I accepted the box and thanked her for it. Hey, that's Arthur the Detective Kid! Okay. Sie dürfen ja keine echten Anime hier verwenden. Genauso musste sie natürlich eben auch mit einem Alpha-Ball irgendwas fangen. Irgendein Schwubbelwubbel. Was es in Pokémon nicht gibt. Und hier gibt's halt Detective Arthur. Oh man, I love that show. You watching it too, Kamen? Well, yeah. Kinda. A little. I mean, I just started watching. Mika said it was good, so we watched it together and finished the second season last night. The second season already? Although, even more surprising than that, I could remember how Kamen had always complained about Mika, especially due to her childish behavior, and now the two of them were having anime nights together. I guess there hadn't been any need for me to be so worried about her. It looked as though she had already found what she needed to move on. I can only recommend it. Show's super awesome, ain't it, Raiko-chan? It is indeed. It's actually been quite a while since I had last seen it, but Raiko-chan had been a huge fan. Oh. Mir fällt gerade was ein, weil sie meinte ja, du bist zurück und sowas. So als ob die sich schon mal gekannt haben. Kann's sein, dass sie ihre Schwester kannte und nicht sie? She, Bara-chan and I had used to watch it together every week. Those had been some really fun times. This figurine will get a very special place on my desk. Thank you very much. No problem. I'm glad you like it. That little detective boy kinda reminded me of you, so when I saw it, I just had to get it. Actually, I think you'd make for a great detective yourself. Maybe you should consider becoming one. I had never really been interested in detective stuff, aber sie ist schon die zweite, die dir das sagt. Arthur had been the only exception, which had mainly been due to my sister. Apart from that, nope. And no matter how exciting it had been after that whole Halloween experience, I could say with absolute certainty that a detective was one of the last things I'd ever wanted to be. Anyway, I guess we shouldn't keep you any longer. Cool! Mika and Carmen need to raid a few more anime stores anyway. Alright, have fun then. You too. Take care and see you at school, I guess. As Carmen was about to turn around, she suddenly hesitated. One more time she gathered all her courage to ask one final question. Hey, Raiko-chan? Yes? I was wondering if you don't mind and feel like it, maybe we could watch Arthur together sometime? You mean having an anime night like you did with, Mika? Yes. Well, Mika and Nobara can come too, of course. We could all watch together. Cool! Maybe then Mika will finally get a chance to scare Raiko's panties wet. Sounds fun. Ja, wet panties klingen immer noch fun. I'd be totally up for it. Now that we talked about it, I really want to rewatch Arthur anyway. What do you think, Raiko-chan? An anime night with Mika, Carmen, and Bara-chan, huh? Frankly, I didn't really feel like it. This was about to get annoying, at least with Mika around. Besides, after the Halloween party, I wasn't in the mood to do anything with a group of people again anytime soon. Unfortunately, all of them looked rather excited about this idea and I didn't want to act like a grumpy killjoy again, so... Alright, why not? Yay! It's settled then. We can talk about the details at school on Monday. During lunch, maybe? Sure. Okay. Curses, what had I gotten myself into here? Oh, well, even if I didn't really look forward to it that much, when I saw my answer put such an ginormous smile onto Carmen's lips, I was glad that I had agreed to it. She suddenly seemed to be in high spirits, downright oozing with energy. I don't think I had ever seen her this cheerful and energetic before. I guess I had been wrong about Carmen too. This was one of those moments again that made me realize just how important it was not to judge a book by its cover. Not to jump to conclusions, but to collect enough information first before passing judgment on anyone or anything. Only then did you... Oh. What the heck? What was going on here? Why was Carmen... Was she really... Perplexed, puzzled, and petrified, all I could do was stand there as Carmen pressed her lips against my cheek. When she finally hopped back, she gave me an embarrassed smile before suddenly sticking her tongue out, spinning around and hurrying away. Just... What the heck was that about? Ich sag doch, die ist nicht verknallt. So that's how you truly shock Raiko. A coup? Mika! Come on, let's go! A coup! See you later, alligators! And off they are! Ja, so kannst du sie wirklich schocken. Vielleicht sind ihre Panties jetzt auch ein bisschen wet geworden. You okay? I guess not. Certainly didn't see that coming, huh? Nope. Didn't Carmen say she's actually into girls rather than boys? You think she might have a thing for you now? Oh, please no. I didn't even want to think about that. All I wanted was for people to leave me alone. Was that really too much to ask? Ach, Rihatsu hieß sie, okay. Ich wusste nicht mehr, wie sie hieß, okay. Well, so you have a girlfriend, huh? Why exactly did you never tell me about that? Mom? How long have you been here? Long enough. Of course, she always had the perfect timing. So, for how long have you been together? We are not together. She's just my classmate. Yeah, sure looked like that just now. Come on, don't be ashamed. You can admit it. She's quite cute and seems like a nice person. And she's rather well endowed too. That's what you're into, huh? Mom? What? I'm being totally serious here. As your mother, I'll always support you, no matter what. Your expression is just amazing. Absolutely priceless. This accursed woman. Why did she always have to tease me like that? That's exactly why I didn't want to go shopping with her. Oh ho ho! Oh nein, nicht du auch noch. Young love sure is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Wait, Dad, you're here too? Hello there, my beautiful little ladies. Glad to see me? No? Oh, come on, don't be like that to my sugar bear. Dad. Why did you tell her, why did I tell you? What did I... Boah, warum kann ich nicht lesen? What did I tell you about calling me like that? Especially in public? And what you doing here anyway? I thought you had a meeting with one of your publishers. Oh, I had. Right here in the park, actually. It didn't take that long, though. We finished just a couple of minutes ago. When I was about to leave, I ran into the ever-so-stunning Miss Shinpuku here, and she asked if I wanted to come along on your little shopping trip. How could I say no to that? Warte mal, sind die eigentlich beide alleinerziehend? Werden das jetzt Geschwister, die beiden hier? Oh no, Mom, how could she have done this to us? Curses, this could be happening. Speaking of shopping, we should hurry up a little. My lunch break doesn't last forever, you know. I don't mind you meeting your girlfriend, but you could have at least told me. She isn't my girlfriend. I sent you 52 messages and you didn't reply to a single one of them. Ja, diese Messages haben dafür gesorgt, dass sie sich extra Zeit gelassen hat. I was kind of worried, you know. I thought you wouldn't make it in time, so I just came here to pick you up. And guess what I found on the way? I honestly didn't want to know, but before I even had the time to take a guess, she already had reached into the shopping bag she had been hiding this whole time and slapped its content on my head. In the blink of an eye. Sind das Fuchsohren? Oh my! They're perfect! They look even better than those cat ears you love so much. Indeed! Those fox ears suit you extraordinarily well, Raiko-chan. I definitely need to get some for my little Flufflepuff too. Oh hell no! That's not even the best part. I also got this. When she reached into that accursed shopping bag again, I couldn't believe it. What she was pulling out now was a big, fluffy foxtail. Ein Analplug? Let's try it out right here. Come on, show mommy your butt. No, forget it. I quickly backed off as she came dangerously close with that atrocious thing. I definitely wasn't going to let her attach that to my butt. Much less in public. Curses, this didn't look good. Shopping with Mom alone would have been hell already, but now that Mr. Akadori was part of it too, even Barachan didn't look so optimistic anymore. I guess we had no other choice. Raiko-chan, what are we gonna do? The obvious thing. Run. Genau. Hey, you two, wait! They think they can get away like that, huh? Let's teach them better. Oh, I always was a fast runner. I had our parents chase after us, but didn't turn around. All I focused on was all I focused on was what was lying ahead. Okay. As fast as we could, Barachan and I ran through the park. To be honest, I don't even want to get into the horrors that have happened next, so I guess I'll just end the story right here. Thank you so much for bearing with me until the very end. Okay, hier hört dann die Erzählung auf. Am besten Stück, am besten Teil, ne? Sonst gibt's ja kein Happy End, ne? Happy Ends gibt es auch in Büchern und Geschichten immer nur, weil die Erzählung da aufhört, wo es gerade am schönsten ist. Niemand weiß, was danach passiert ist. Denkt da mal drüber nach. Weil das Leben hat kein Happy End. Ist halt so. Jetzt nochmal schön die Stimmung runtergerissen, ne? I'm Raiko Shinpuku. A little fox on the run. So, und damit haben wir das richtige Ending erreicht und das Spiel durchgespielt. Ihr könnt ja mal gerne in die Kommentare schreiben, wie euch das Spiel so gefallen hat. Ich fand an sich eigentlich diesen Mord ziemlich cool und wie das Ganze geplant war. Allerdings, es geht ja jetzt noch weiter, allerdings muss ich sagen, ich fand das nicht gerade so, wie das aufgebaut war, dieses Finale, wo man die Fragen beantworten musste und den Schuldigen darstellen musste. Vom Aufbau her hätte ich jetzt, wäre ich nie auf die Idee gekommen, zweimal hintereinander Momoko anzugeben. Ist halt einfach so vom Aufbau der gesamten Situation halt so gewesen. Allein, also man hätte schon drauf kommen können, ne, was genau passiert ist. Irgendwie hätte man da drauf kommen können. Aber von der Art und Weise, wie halt, finde ich, das Finale halt aufgebaut war, wo man dann den Schuldigen benennen musste, wirkte es halt nicht unbedingt so, als ob das jetzt die richtige Lösung wäre. Das fand ich ein bisschen doof, aber ansonsten fand ich das eigentlich ganz cool. So, what else did you get from our anime night with the others? A coup! Mika got this right here. Oh, what kind of movie is that? Mika has no clue, but Mika liked the cover. It looks pretty epic, a coup. Well, let's take a look at the back and see what it's about. Mika? A coup? Hat sie ein Hentai gekauft? This is a hentai? This is a hentai movie? A coup? Mika thought it was some kind of fighting anime. Ja, die kämpfen, nackt im Bett. Well, there kinda is some fighting involved. Oh my. Should Mika take it back to the store? No. Actually, I wouldn't mind watching this with Raiko-chan. Nice. Ja, okay. Aber möchte Raiko-chan das auch mit dir sehen? Das ist die Frage. Ach ja. So. Oh dear, still so much work to do. Ach, die müssen das immer noch aufräumen. Just where is Miyamoto-san? She cannot honestly expect me to clean this up all by myself. Whoa! Ah! Na! Warum hat sie ihr Kostüm wieder an? I'm gonna eat your brains! Seriously? This is why you were gone for so long? Instead of fooling around so much, how about you lend me a hand for a change? But that's no fun. Keep that in mind for your next party and don't even decorate the entire... Oh, speaking of the next party, I had a really great idea. I know how to make Taiko fall for me and you're gonna help me. On one condition only. Huh? If you clean up the entire dining hall, I will gladly assist you. What? I think that's only fair, considering I already took care of the reception, kitchen and restrooms all by myself. You can do some work too, you know? But I don't wanna. Sie will diese Party planen, aber will nicht aufräumen danach, ne? Well, in that case, I will be looking forward to seeing your plans fail yet again. Fine. There's so much to do, though. Isn't there? Have fun. Ja. Jetzt sehen wir nochmal, was mit allen Leuten ist. Sehen wir jetzt auch nochmal Kotoba und Taiko. Sehen wir die beiden auch nochmal. Um zu erfahren, was mit denen ist. Taiko auf jeden Fall. Oh, er steht in dem Grab. Momoko. What you've done certainly wasn't right, and I can by no means condone it. However, maybe it's because I'm so happy that Kotoba's still alive, but I can't be mad at you either. In fact, all I feel when I think about you is sorrow and regret. I just wish I would have realized what was going on, so I could have done something about it. And I'm not just talking about Kotoba. Speaking of him, though, what he did definitely wasn't okay, but I'm sure he never intended to scare you. Or at least, that's what I want to believe. He's just a big fool. I hope that you can maybe forgive him. Just like I hope that you can forgive me as well. I wish I could have done something for you. But it seems all I can do now is pray for your eternal peace. I will certainly miss you. Farewell, Momoko. Please, don't let your soul be tormented by hatred and regret. Sehen wir ihren Geist auch nochmal dann? Und sehen wir Kotoba nochmal jetzt im Krankenhaus, wie er irgendwas Perverses macht? Curses, where the heck are those two? Don't tell me we've lost them. Looks like it. I certainly don't see them anywhere. But they can't have gotten that far. They've gotta be around here somewhere. Vielleicht haben sie sich im Gebüsch versteckt. Yeah, Raiko's stamina is even worse than my own, so she shouldn't be able to get away that easily. Wait, she didn't secretly train in preparation for something like this, did she? Oh, vielleicht doch. Well, it's good to see her so energetic, isn't it? I guess that's true. Still, I wish she wasn't so energetic now of all times. Why does she always have to make things so much more complicated than they need to be? She knows that I won't rest until she's foxified. Why does she have to be so stubborn? Like mother, like daughter, I say. Anyway, let's split up to cover more ground. She's not getting... Huh? Your cell phone? Yeah, but who would call me now of all? Oh! It's Yu-Yu, wer auch immer Yu-Yu ist. Yuichiro-kun? Well, better pick up then. Yes! Ist das die Mutter? Ist das der Vater von, Ist das der Vater gewesen? Yuichiro? Ich muss mir die Character Profiles nochmal durchlesen, glaube ich. Aber wir haben die jetzt schon zum zweiten Mal gesehen, glaube ich, ne? Yuichiro. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to surprise you two, but when I got here, no one was here. Also ist das der Vater tatsächlich. So, where are you? Is Rai-chan with you? Oh, something interesting happened. Like what? Wait, what? Our daughter is in a relationship? What kind of guy is he? I better hope he... Wait, what did you say? A girl? Really? I never would have thought. Well, a girl's better than a guy, right? At least that way I don't have to worry about her getting pregnant at a young age. Für wen hältst du deine Tochter eigentlich? Dass die zu dumm ist zu verhüten oder was? You know, like a certain someone. Okay, wenn die Mutter schon so war, ne? Well, yeah, okay. I guess that was kinda my fault too. So, like, is she with you right now? Und er ist scheinbar dann auch dumm genug, nicht zu verhüten. What? What do you mean you have to catch her? What are you doing to her this time? Rick-chan? What? Hey, Rick-chan! She just hung up on me. Poor Rai-chan's probably gonna be in a terrible mood again when she gets home. Maybe her favorite dish will cheer her up, though. My grumpy little darling. A girlfriend, huh? That sure would be nice, but... Why do I get the feeling that might not be entirely true? Ja, weil es nicht so ist. Okay. Also ist er scheinbar derjenige, der bei denen in der Familie auch kocht. Klang zumindest gerade so, weil er ihr Lieblingsgericht zubereiten möchte, um sie aufzumuntern. Dang it, I ain't seeing them no more. You think we lost them? Sind die schon wieder beim Friedhof? I sure hope so. I can't breathe. You know, you really need to do more sporty stuff. You got less stamina than my grandma. I know. Wer bist du? Wer ist das? Those ears. They're cute. Who was that chick? I have no idea. War das Momokos Mutter vielleicht? There you are! I found them! They're over here! Oh ho ho! Shit, they spotted us! Curses, run! Wir müssen eigentlich nur Zeit schinden, bis die Mittagspause von Rihatsu vorbei ist. Weil dann können die nicht mehr einkaufen gehen. So. Und Special Thanks, danke, dass ihr euch bei mir noch bedankt. For completing Shinrai and revealing the truth. Oh, jetzt hat Nobara auch die Ohren auf, die Katzenohren. Das ist ein süßes Bild. The End. Das ist ein süßes Bild. Extras has been unlocked. So, Punkte. 37. 92,5% habe ich gespielt. Okay. Ich bin ein Ace Detective. Rang S. Your deductive skills are quite impressive. There were some slip-ups here and there, but that's nothing to be ashamed of. No one's perfect, and even the best detectives sometimes make mistakes. In the end, you still solve the majority of all those mysteries with ease. Arthur the Detective Kid would be proud of you. Ja, Arthur the Detective Kid und so, ne? Was ist denn in Extra? Ah, guck mal, hier können wir uns die ganzen Sachen... Das haben wir alles nicht freigeschaltet. Artwork. Chibi-Rie. Yay, Chibi-Runa. Chibi-Raiko und Nobara, die beiden am Ende. Das ist ein super Bild gewesen. Code Raiko. Code Nobara. Valentine's Momoko. Ach, das ist cute. The kanji on the t-shirt is I, the kanji for love. I've decided to put it there since love is very important to Momoko. The kanji on the tiny buttons on her jackets are Shiro and Momo, white and peach, beziehungsweise pink, which are just simply a reference to her favorite color combination. Aha, okay. Passt jetzt zu ihr. Because I rarely got the chance to draw the character in anything but the Halloween's costumes, I really enjoyed working on these holiday pictures. I wanted to use the opportunity to show some of them with slightly different hairstyles and to give an idea what kind of clothes they might usually wear when not attending a costume party. Auf jeden Fall cute. White Day Hero. Oh mein Gott, wie er da auch schon wieder guckt. Als ob er dir irgendwie so ein Geschenk gibt für einen Tag, an dem es um Liebe geht und sagt, hier, sei stolz, dass ich dir sowas gebe. Da kannst du dir was drauf einbilden. Christmas Rie. Hat sie eigentlich immer was an, wo man ihren Körper durchsehen kann? New Year's Runa. Das ist auch cute. New Year's Carmen und Momo. Unused Sprite. Ach gut. Unused Promo Art. Das ist eigentlich ein ziemlich cooles Bild, ne? Promo A Investigation. Warum kackt legt sie denn da neben der Leiche hin? Das finde ich nicht gut. Ja, die Bilder sind eigentlich ganz cool. Scenes and Diaries. Raikos Diary. Extra Scene A. Carmen's Diary A. Carmen's Diary. Momo, it's been a week now since that Halloween party. A week since you've left me. Every morning I still wake up thinking it was just a bad dream, because there's no way something this ridiculous could have happened, right? But then I look at my phone and realize no matter how many times I text you from now on, I will never get a reply again. I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. That I will never see you again. Going to school with you, chatting with you during lunch, walking back home together. That all things that have been a daily routine for me, that all of that will be no more. I can't help but wonder, what did you think about me in the end? What did you think about me during your final moments? Did you hate me? Did you despise me? I guess I'll never know for sure. But considering what drove you to all of this, you probably did, didn't you? I think that's what hurts the most. That I never got a chance to clear things up. So I hope that wherever you are right now, you can see me. You can hear me. Because I want you to know, despite what happened, despite what you've done, I'm not mad. I don't hate you. And I sure don't hold anything against you. On the contrary, you'll always be the best friend I could have ever imagined. I still remember when I first met you at the beginning of 7th grade. You were so quiet and barely talked to anyone. Kann sein, dass wir nach und nach jetzt andere Diaries freischalten und damit noch ein bisschen mehr Hintergrundinfo bekommen. Most of our classmates didn't know how to deal with you, so they just ignored you. Some of them kept harassing you, though. They kept asking you for this and that, and you were too nice to say no. So you did them one favor after another. But all you ever received in return was ridicule for being so naive. I couldn't stand watching that, and so I stepped in to tell those jerks that what you couldn't. You were really surprised and at first didn't know what to say, but after a little hesitation you managed to thank me, which marked the first moment we ever exchanged any words. Before that, I'd been too shy to talk to you. I had wanted to get closer to you, but I hadn't known how to go about it. But that had finally changed. Your thanks gave me the courage and determination I had lacked for. And so I made up my mind. From the following day onwards, I would greet you every morning, ask you to spend lunch break with me, offer to walk you home, or invite you to do stuff after school. You didn't seem too thrilled because you preferred to be by yourself. But just like with the others, you were too nice to always turn me down, and so you put up with it. Vielleicht ist es genau das, was Raiko jetzt auch braucht, weil sie will ja eigentlich auch nicht mit den anderen zusammen sein. I think I really got on your nerves sometimes, didn't I? Nevertheless, over the course of the next 2 years, we gradually grew closer, until eventually you began referring to me as your friend. It took a long time before you first called me that, and I sure had to work real hard for you to open up to me. But once you did, I finally understood why it had taken you so long. You told me that during your quiet and shy nature, you'd always been bullied by most of your classmates, even in elementary school. And the few who didn't join in and told you they were your friends only pretended to be. Just like those asshats in 7th grade, they simply wanted to exploit your kindness before ultimately stabbing you in the back. Genauso wie Hiro, ne? Stealing from you, talking shit about you when you weren't around, abandoning you when you needed help for once. It's only natural that after your trust was broken so many times, you became wary and isolated. But after spending almost 2 years together, you grew quite attached to me, didn't you? We even reached the point where you became the one constantly asking me to do this or that with you. Funny how we kinda switched roles like that, huh? Earlier this year, you finally told me I was the first person you ever felt you could truly trust. And of course, hearing that made me incredibly happy. So I promised that I'd never betray that trust, that I'd always support you, and that I'd always be honest with you. I really meant that, and I did my very best to prove that to you. Even though in the end, I guess I still betrayed you. After all, there's one thing I've never truly been honest about: my feelings for you. From the moment I first saw you, I was interested in you. You were beautiful, cute, and really kind. I guess you could say I immediately fell for you. Even before I met you, I already knew I was drawn more towards girls rather than boys. In fact, my very first crush was a girl I'd met when I was only 11 years old. But I never managed to tell you any of that. I carefully tried to figure out whether you were romantically interested in girls or not, and unfortunately I had to realize that you weren't. Of course, after that, there was no way I could have told you about my feelings. I didn't want things to get awkward between us, so even though it was hard, I tried to overcome them. Ich weiß nicht, wie hast du das rausgefunden, dass sie nicht auf Frauen steht? Ich meine, du hast vielleicht rausgefunden, dass sie auf Männer steht. Aber das heißt ja nicht, dass sie nicht auf Frauen steht, oder? So even though it was hard, I tried to overcome them. And slowly over the past year I did. However, I realize now that not telling you was a big mistake. Keeping my true feelings hidden wasn't really that different from lying to you, was it? Not only that, but if I had just been honest with you, you would have never thought that I'd betray you. That I'd try taking Hero away from you. I cannot even begin to imagine the despair you must have felt thinking that I would suddenly stab you in the back like that. Right when you'd finally begun to open up and give more people a chance again, the person who had helped you with that, the only one you thought you could trust, cheated on you with the guy you loved. Or at least you thought so. I guess I can't blame you for what you did. On the contrary, I can't help but blame myself. When I think about how I could have prevented all this if I only told you the truth, I can't help but cry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for not being honest about my feelings. It might be too late for regrets, but I promise you that I won't make that mistake ever again. From now on, I will always be honest about my feelings. Never again will I attempt to hide them, no matter how embarrassing or awkward it might be. Deswegen hat sie Raiko einfach geküsst. Because like I said, doing so would be no different from lying. Of course, it probably won't be as easy as it sounds, but being scared is no excuse. After all, being honest and being true to yourself is the only way to never feel regrets. That's the lesson you have taught me. Thank you, Momoko. Thank you for everything. I will never forget the time we've spent together. And I will never forget you. Goodbye, my sweetie. May you forever rest in peace. Okay. Wir können hier noch Raiko Story lesen, Fragezeichen, extra scene A, extra scene B. Ich würde sagen, ich mache das nochmal in einem extra Part. Und wir sehen uns dann wieder beim nächsten Mal. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.